a million theories, but I think that it's just basically part of like who we were as cavemen, is that, you know, we faced, you know, danger every day, you know, the saber-toothed tiger coming in, attacking you or whatever. You know, we had such short lives, and, you know, a lot of times just violent deaths, and I think that there's part of us that kind of missed that. It's the whole idea of like, like rubbernecking on a, you know, when you see an accident, and you're like, oh, what happened to that guy, you know? There's something about us that just like wants to see misery, I think, and like experience fear. It's, you know, like roller coasters, or like, you know, haunted houses, you know, during Halloween, like. But the whole thing about films, like, they're relatively safe, unless, you know, you go home and it's, you know, haunt you, might have a nightmare or whatever. But, you know, it's safe. You're in the theater, and I think that kind of touches on something that that we've lost. You know, unless you live in a really bad neighborhood. You know, the danger, everyday danger of being, you know, killed by something. You know, being attacked. And I like horror movies because you know, because I'm, you know, since Blair, I mean, I've never considered myself a horror filmmaker. When I went to film school, I didn't make any horror movies, and I mean, I love horror movies, but I love pretty much any kind of movie. But I love the thing about that I like being stuck, as I am stuck in the kind of the genre right now, is that there are, you know, the horror genre has all these subgenres, so you can explore. You know, you have action, you have comedy, you have all these kind of things that you can explore. So you can make a bunch of different kinds of movies. Within the horror genre, like this movie, like, you know, really, it's, you know, it's definitely a horror movie, but it's more, it has like you know, it's like an indie drama. It has like this kind of, you know, it's an actor's piece, and I love that about horror, is that you can go from, you know, a totally goofy zombie movie that's making people laugh to like a total, you know, shit your pants kind of movie, where you're just like, you know, sitting in your seat and just dying. So that's what I love about it.
Time for 2 more questions. Yes?
I really thought that one of the best things that really I thought one of the best things about the film was the time breaks and how it would periodically cut between stuff, which was nice and linking together, like the demonic possession stuff, mental illness stuff, the addiction stuff. One of the main things, though, is that it kind of left a lot up in the air, like, especially what happens at the end. Is she in hell? Is she speared? Is she mental hospital? Is she dead? How much did you guys agree on what happened to it? Did you like leave it up to the actors, or did you guys all decide together? Like, how much do you have a sense of, for, you know, the structure of the film, what happens there? I actually would love not to know. I like it.
All right, so I'm not going to tell you that. No, you know, it's like you know, the original version of that thing in when she walks in the woods is that she walks into the woods. And just disappears. Like, the end of that shot is, you know, literally her body just disappears into the darkness. So to me, it was like this thing where, like, not that I was thinking of like a sequel, because I don't know how you do a sequel to this movie, but it's like, she's gone, you know. Who the hell knows? Yeah, well, the sister, of course, but you know, who knows what happens to Molly? But I don't think she's in hell. I think she's, you know, she's definitely gone. Like, Molly is not coming back. Like, the Molly that loved Tim and, you know, was a sister to Hannah is gone. I mean, she is totally into whatever, like the demon or whatever it is you want to think, or whether it's psychosis or a real possession. She's gone. But other than that, you know, that's pretty much like where I drew the line. You know, that's pretty much where I ended it, because I didn't really want to go any further. And what about you, Gretchen? Did you know, what were your feelings?
Yeah, well, we discussed it a little bit. We discussed it as far as, you know, if we were going to come to an agreement, or whether, you know, you would have your idea and I would have my idea. I think that's actually how it ended up, is that I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it this way, and you tell me if it works for you, with what you have in mind, and then, you know, and I think that's sort of how we left it. I mean, I have in my mind what I think happened, but, you know, I sort of like the idea that it's like,
yeah, I mean,
you get to decide.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of really, like, I think of the kind of balance that you strike during the editing is and especially in horror movies, is that, you know, there is a bit of, you gotta leave a little bit up to the imagination and to kind of like the audience. At least that's my feeling. Like, I think if you give all the answers, it just becomes, like, you know, like the noise, you know, downstairs, like, what the hell was that? Well, I don't know what it was. I mean, Tim heard it. So was it somebody that came in? Was it, you know, the demon? to me, it's like I like to just leave those questions unanswered because I think that's what makes it scary.
And time for one more. Off on the side there, yes.
Do you guys believe in the supernatural?
You guys believe in the supernatural?
You want me to answer that? I believe anything's possible after making this movie.
I don't know what you'd want to call it. It could be psychic phenomenon, or it could be the supernatural, it could be paranoia, but it's certainly real. Whether or not it's shared is up for debate, but for the person who's going through it, it's absolutely as real as reality. So, in that case, sure.
I have to second what he says. You know, I mean, you can't discount personal experience. You know, and I think if it's going on within you, and you believe it to be real, then you know that's what acting is.
Exactly. I mean, like we don't know. We know so little. So I always kind of leave it. I don't. I was raised Catholic, and I've since then kind of obviously really kind of gone away from the whole kind of Christian thing. But to me, like The Exorcist is the scariest movie because if you believe in Jesus, then you believe in Satan. I don't know if I believe in that anymore, but there's always something out there. So yeah, I definitely believe in the supernatural. I just think it's science that we haven't really, that we don't understand. So.
On that note, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.